ਇੱਕ ਓੰਕਾਰ ਸਤ ਨਾਮ ਕਰਤਾ ਪੁਰਖ ਨਿਰਭਉ ਨਿਰਵੈਰ ਅਕਾਲ ਮੂਰਤ ਅਜੂਨੀ ਸੈਭੰ ਗੁਰ ਪ੍ਰਸਾਦ ਜਪ ਆਦਿ ਸਚ ਜੁਗਾਦ ਸਚ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਨਾਨਕ ਹੋਸੀ ਵੀ ਸਚ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ 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 ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ
ਸਤਨਾਮ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ। ਜਰਾ ਉਖੇ ਰਹੇ ਚੰਦੂ ਕੇਰੀ, ਮਰਹਿ ਜੋ ਬੈ ਦੋ ਜਕ ਮਹਿ ਗੇਰੀ।
ਗੁਰੂ ਰੂਪ ਗੁਰੂ ਪਿਆਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਵਾਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀਓ, all my Pai that have joined in the lap, the Sadh Sangat of Dhan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, let us all focus our attention on the divine swoop of Dhan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj, the divine swoop of Pita Par Brahm, in whose goal we are sitting, and then let's join in Gur Fateh to Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Maharaj. So Maharaj blesses us with the Asisan. So what we hear, everyone will take something away. Nobody goes from here khali. This is the house of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So Guru Roop Guru Pyari Sadh Sangat Ji, Pishle Prasang Ch, in the last Diwan, we had gone so far in the Prasang that Chandu had given the order to the guards to put the Dega on boil. He then gave the order for the guards to put Guru Arjan Dev Ji in the Dega. Satguru Maharaj, the Nirpaya, the fearless Roof, stood up and told the guards, don't come near us, you don't need to take us, we will go ourselves. Maharaj went over to the Dega, sat in the boiling water. Chandu got tired of standing there and watching, but Satguru Maharaj, adol, unwavering, unflinching, sat in the boiling water. Then, after approximately 3 hours, Chandu thak gaya, te ghar nu chal gaya. But Guru Maharaj, jiddan kiddan uddan hi baithe rahe, until Chandu asked the guards to take Maharaj out. Maharaj went and sat on the same spot that Maharaj had been sitting for 3 days up until this point. When Chandu was gone home, at night time his daughter-in-law, the Sikhan di bachi who's married to his son, she snuck out of the house. She made her way over to where Satguruji is. She bribed the guards with some jewelry. Maharaj nu matha tekya and she started crying. She said to Satguru Maharaj that, hey Satguru, because of mere pishle karam, because of my mande karam from a past life, mera aisa paap ban chuka hai that I am married into the house of this papi to his son. But I should not have come here because I am the daughter of your Sikhs, my mother and father, Tere Sikhya. Whenever they need anything in life, they have always bowed before you, Tera Naam Simran Kita, Guru Guru Kita, and they have achieved everything. You have given so much peace, so much sukh to my parents. May we take me as your daughter, as your bachi, as your Sikh sevak. Tamite daya karo, mera pala karo. I don't want to stay in this house anymore. Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj says, Bacha jitwa da pala choni hai. If you want your pala, if you want salvation from this karm chakra that has led you to be married to the son of such a papi, then be ready to abandon your body when we abandon our body. And a bachi ne anni gal suni. This is where the prasang has gotten to so far. Das shared with Apji's the Sakhi of the horse thief who took a horse from Satguru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's Gursikhs while the Maharaj was in Assam, and how to the same chore when the chore got caught, he asked Satguru Ji, Kenda, hey Maharaj, main hun anna ho gaya, mera pala karo. And Satguru Ji said to him, jitwa da pala chona hai, get a rope and hang yourself. Matlab ki that your paap chakkar, your karm chakkar is so much. Will look where it's led you. It's led you to steal a thief from the Sikh Sangat. If you want to carry on with your karm chakkar, wo bhi teri ichha hai. If you want to be totally removed from this karm chakkar, phaha leke mar ja. Tan is that thief. Tan is that thief, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, who never had he met Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji ever before. Pehli vaar milya, ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਜੋ ਸਿੱਖ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਘੋੜਾ ਭੇਟਾ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ, ਜੋ ਘੋੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਤੋਹਫੇ ਵਜੋਂ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ. He ended up stealing that horse. ਜਦੋਂ ਫਿਰ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਹੀ ਮਿਲਿਆ under these circumstances, what's the first bachan Satguru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji gives to this chor? ਵੀ ਜੇ ਤੂੰ ਦਾ ਭਲਾ ਚਾਹਣਾ ਫਾਹਾ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਮਰ ਜਾ. ਸਿਰ ਮੱਥੇ ਹੁਕਮ ਮੰਨਿਆ. Hukum mannan de vichi, when we heard that Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj was talking to Jahangir after the 3 methods of meeting Khuda, the question that Jahangir had asked, Satguru Arjan Dev Ji said, Pehlo hukum mannana sikho. Jo Guru ne hukum karta, ohi manno, utte challo, ode vichi phalaya, ode vichi Khuda nu, tu Jahangir mil payega. This chor hukum manniya Satguran da, and Sad Sangat Ji, eh koi na soche. I say this with pakka vishwas in my Satguru. Nobody think that that chor went to Nark or went into Juna. Such is the daya, the compassion of Satguru, the Band Khlasi Maharaj ne karke pakki galya rakh diti huni. If a thief to whom Maharaj says, Adi Jaan, ithe nivede hon, je pala chona, and his pala can happen, then this bacha, this Gursikh bachi who's come to Satguru Ji, she feels that because of a pishle made karam, she is ended up in the house of Chandu. But because of a pishle good karam, she is also a Sikh of the Guru. Just like we would not leave our child in the house of a tyrant, just like we wouldn't even leave our child in the house of a neighbor who's not living to the principles of Gurmat. Just like that, Satguru Ji will not leave this bachi, this kise Sikh di bachi, in the house of Chandu. So Satguru Ji says to this bachi, je tum bacha da pala choni hai, be prepared. ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਸਰੀਰ ਤਿਆਗਣ ਨੂੰ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੋ ਜਾ, when we leave our body, tenu naal leke javange Sachkhand nu.
जरा उखे रहे चंदू केरी
Satguru Ji Maharaj further speaks. Maharaj says, we are going to rip his roots out, meaning his destiny, we are going to rid him of it.
रह जो बैदो जक महगेरी
And once we've ripped his roots out, meaning taken his life out of him, we will push him into hell. He has opened the darwaze, the doors to hell for himself.
यहाँ हमारो पाल्टा लेके
Iha hamaro palta leke, in this world my revenge will be taken.
सतह कुमोत महा दुख दाके
He will be killed in a most dreadful way. Hanji.
सकल सदन इस होए खराब
His Sakal Sadan, his whole entire household will be ruined.
रहे ना किम इम बन है शिताब
There will not remain in any sense whatsoever, meaning that his entire bloodline will be wasted. Guru Ki Sangat Ji Jadon, after the Shaheedi of Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj ne pran kita while sitting on the Sri Akal Takht that we will not sleep until we do not take revenge for our father. Satguru Ji could have killed Chandu in an instant, but no, whilst living in the world, they will do it in a worldly way. So Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj sent out Sri Hukamname Sahib, got Kode, got Shastras, got Jodhe, and formed a Fauj. This word got back to Jahangir. Who was the one delivering the word? The same old tyrant Chandu filling the ears of Jahangir. He hatched a plan that if I can fill the king's ears that the peer that used to keep thieves in Punjab, his son is now becoming a rebel. He's bearing arms, he's keeping horses and soldiers, and they're bearing arms, and next thing you know, they'll be starting a revolt in Punjab. Jahangir listened to the same fool in the same way and became within doubt in the same way too. He then sends a benti again under the guidance of Wazir Khan Ji. Guru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj go to Delhi. They spend some time with Jahangir. In the end, what happens is Maharaj Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji in the Darbar of Delhi, in the Darbar of Jahangir, Maharaj demands from Jahangir, who is shaking, that he hands over Chandu for the wrong he has done. When the Gursikhs that are locked into Deori, Pai Prana, Pai Langaha, Pai Peda, Pai Jetha, Pai Bidya Ji, when these 5 Gursikhs, they are still with Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji. These are the 5 Uttam Brahmagyani Jodhe that are in the service of Satguru. Guru Ki Sangat Ji, in today's day, we may see people in the seva of Satguru Granth Sahib Ji Swaroop, ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹਦੀਆਂ ਦਾੜੀਆਂ ਰੰਗੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਛ ਕਰੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ, ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ. This is the halt of the Guru Ghar today, but not then. Then only those Uttam Mahatmas, the very high level of Mahatmas, were in the seva of Satguru Ji. These 5, 6, they take Chandu, they put a ring in his nose in the darbar of Jahangir in Delhi. They take him from there. ਇਹਦੀ ਉਹ ਹਾਲਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ. They should tie him up with the dogs. Maharaj ne shikari kutte rakhe hoye si for when they used to go shikar. They should tie Chandu with the dogs. Jo ਕੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਖਾਣਾ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹੀ ਚੰਦੂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਸੀ, but no ਅੱਡ ਖਾਣਾ. If he got any bite left over, ਜੋ ਕੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਛੱਡ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਇਹ ਖਾ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ. They brought him back to Lahore. The people that Chandu will give the order to put sand over Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj Pavitr Sees. Those same people that delivered the sand, those same Karshe will cut his belly open. He will die in this way. His son and his wife, there were some people in the bar of Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji that said, Maharaj, let's sell his son and let's sell his wife to the Kangala nu vech diye, like gypsies for example, into the slave trade. Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji said, no, Sada palta lena, we want to take revenge from Chandu. Chandu is in our grasp. Guru Karanda Nyay nahi. This is not the Guru Kar's way to harm women and children. Let them go. Satguru Ji set these not free. They were never captured anyway. They came to visit Chandu while Chandu was in Satguru Ji's custody. So when they went back home, this same Chandu's son, he joins with some kings that went against Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji. He comes and he fights against Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji in one of the battles of Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji. ਇਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਮਾਰਿਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ. His wife ਇਹ ਸੋਗ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਰ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ. Where is the bloodline today of Chandu? ਕਿਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ, ਨਾ ਧੀ, ਨਾ ਪੁੱਤਰ, ਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਪੋਤਰਾ, ਨਾ ਕੋਈ, ਕੁਛ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਗਿਆ. Not even his khandan, not even his family, not even his house. So Satguru Ji Maharaj says, यहाँ हमारो पलटा लेके हते कमौत महा दुखदायक है. That here, ਇਹਦਾ revenge ਲਵਾਂਗੇ. He will die a horrible death. Sakal Sadan is hoye kharab. His entire khandan, his family will be ruined. Tere na kim im bane shatab. Nothing will last. Nothing. His whole family will pass away. Satguru Ji Maharaj is saying this to the daughter of Chandu.
ਅਖਲ ਕੁਟੰਬ ਅਲਮੰਬ ਬਹੀਨੇ.
Soon as we leave, they will have no sport. Sadh Sangat Ji, those of you who have heard the Katha of Satguru Hargobind Sahib Ji Maharaj after the Shaheedi of Satguru Arjan Dev Ji, you will know the torment of this Chandu if he was extremely troubled up until this point. He becomes even more troubled, triple troubled, quadruple troubled after this. His torment just grow. So Maharaj says, Akal Kutamb Lamb Bihine, his whole family will become without sport. In a very helpless, no one's there for them. They will die crying. And Maharaj Satguru Arjan Dev says to this bachchi, keep this Gopat. Don't tell anyone. Because so far this plan, Satguru Ji has only mentioned to Pai Purana, as you've all heard. Other than this, Satguru Ji Maharaj hasn't mentioned anything to anyone other than the son of Dhan Satguru Amar Das Sahib Ji Maharaj. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ Maharaj ਵਿਸਤਾਰ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ. We will hear about that hopefully next week. And so Maharaj says that he will become ruined. Keep this baat bacha gupt to yourself. We have told you because tere karma si tu Guru da hukum manniya to leave your body. And we've told you there's nothing left here for you. Je tu da pala chahni hai, abandon your body with us.
Sankat enho sang sahna.
Don't stay with these. Don't. Ina de sang reh ke tu sankat na seh. Meaning, don't stay with these and don't take the burden that's about to befall them upon yourself. Sadh Sangat Ji, if you don't remember why this bachchi went to see Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, whatever Chandu had been doing over the 3 days, he was going back home, probably boasting to his wife or his son or whoever maybe else. She was hearing all this. She bought some mittha pani and some mithiyai for Satguru Ji, whatever she could gather in the house. We Satguru ne na pani pita na bhojan khata. So let Maharaj eat something. She bought this for Satguru Sahib Ji Maharaj. Maharaj says, Khan pan is iste kar kera. We will not eat anything, but take it back with yourself. Sadh Sangat Ji, every single year at the time of Guru Arjan Dev Ji Shaheediyan, across the globe in all Guru Cars, we have something called a Shabeel. ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ where they ਜਿੱਥੇ ਉਹ ਕੀ ਆ ਉਹ ਰੂਫਾਸ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਆ ਉਹ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਗੁਲਾਬ ਦਾ ਪਾਣੀ they put it in milk and ਵਰਤਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ. This Guru Ki Sangat Ji is done in remembrance of this bachcha's pyar. She's living in a house which is extremely well to do. She didn't have to do anything. But any dukhi hoi, vi mere Satguru nu mera sora dukh de reha. She took a risk, she took a gamble, she went to see Maharaj, she bought some water. Maharaj turned it away, said, we do not want this. But the Sikh Sangat across the globe, ਉਹਦੀ ਯਾਦ ਮਿੱਠੀ ਰੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹਦਾ ਮਿੱਠਾ ਪਿਆਰ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਰੱਖਣ ਨੂੰ, they give out Shabeel every single year. That is rooted back to her Bhavana. Once she heard everything that Satguru Ji had to say, she decided that the best thing for her to do is to abandon her body. She doesn't ever want to see the face of her father-in-law, even her husband and mother-in-law, people who are happy at what is going on the residence of Chandu. She puts her hand together to Satguru Ji and says, hey Maharaj, join me with yourself.
हो कृपाले संग सिदावहो
Maharaj, be merciful upon me, and when you go, take me with you.
अंगीकार न गुर कुछ कीनो
Satguruji Maharaj didn't take anything to eat or drink from her.
आतगमनी मरबो निज चीनो
Uthe Maharaj chup karke baithe rahe, even though Maharaj has got, say, boils almost like blisters. You know, when you boil something, you get third-degree burns. They've got those nishane all over their body, but Maharaj didn't see and say anything. She did try to offer food to Maharaj once more. Maharaj ne koi jawab bhi nahi ditta. She's then gone back home.
अधिक दुखी होए परिविचारी
She's gone home with a very heavy heart. Bahut dukhi ya Saad Sangat ji.
बस न बसावहे होए चलचारी
She's managed to hold herself until she gets to her bedroom. Soon as she goes to her room, Guru Ki Sangat ji, she bursts out crying and she's not able to control herself anymore whatsoever.
गीत जमनी सो तब गाई
The night has passed and the morning has come.
बैठे गुर पर बात तब पई
Dhan Sat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, Adol Avastha, sitting in one place. Chandu hasn't slept the night either. Why? Because his torment of not getting any satisfaction whatsoever at seeing Guruji even saying ouch. Satguruji Adol Vastat Betere throughout the whole thing, and this is eating away at him.
चंदू दुष्ट विचारत मन में
In his mind, Chandu, this tyrant, is thinking,
अग्न ताप ते पीर ना तन में
he's thinking that, he's thinking, with this Guru, I extended so much pain to him. I've not given him any water, not given him any food. Ubbalde pani de vich bhi biਠਾਇਆ, but not even once has this Guru said, see, Satguru ki Sangat ji, ਜਦੋਂ when Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj Bal Avastha ਸੀ, at a young age of about 3 or 4, ਧੰਨ Guru Amardas Sahib Ji Maharaj's Dharm Sapati Mata Mansa Devi Ji, she was telling of her daughter Mata Pani Ji, the mother of Dhan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. And Satguruji walked in to where this was going on, and they overheard the conversation, and they say, hey Sumatte, hey wise one, to their wife, why are you telling of our daughter? She said, hey Maharaj, that a few days ago, your daughter, meaning Satguru Arjan Dev Ji, your daughter Arjan Dev, Lal Arjan Dev, Bacha Arjan Dev, he crawled over to where the Tatti Tavi was, and where ਜਿੱਥੇ ਰੋਟੀਆਂ ਪੱਕਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਲੰਗਰ ਵਿੱਚ, ਤੇਰੇ ਦਾ ਹੱਥ ਪਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਯਤਨ ਕੀਤਾ. And I ran over and I stopped him. And then a few days later, he found his way over to ਜਿੱਥੇ where the water is boiling for the langars. And he almost pulled the patila on himself, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਨਾ ਰੋਕਦੀ. I'm telling his mother off, why is she not keeping an eye on him? And Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj, ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ Guru Ki Sangat Ji spoke. Maharaj said, when he sits on the Tatti Tavi, when he sits in boiling water, the one who will protect him then is the one who is protecting him now. Do not trouble yourself in trying to protect him. It is not you who are protecting him. So Guru Ki Sangat Ji ਇੱਥੇ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ, we should take this out of our mind with Satguru Ji, someone who can be subjugated or forced or pressured into doing anything. ਇਹ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਕੀ ਖੇਡ ਆ, but the ਬੇਅਦਬੀ is at the top level. If 4 or 5 of us got together and we planned to harm, say, the king of this country, or even a child, any child in this country, even though we may not succeed, we're not going to succeed. Purely for planning it, there is a law by which we can all be sentenced to prison. If anyone tried to plan anything against a family member of ours, I don't think we'll be relying on the law. We'll be relying maybe on the sharp end of a sword to extract what we need to extract, or even stop them from doing what they're doing. When it comes to Satguruji, even though no one can punish or hurt Satguruji, but Chandu from himself, inne da pura jor laya. No water, no food, boiling water. So in his mind, Chandu dusht bicharat man mein, agn taap te peer na tan mein. that I have put him in boiling water and the heat hasn't troubled him whatsoever, meaning he did not flinch.
रास पाए नह मानी बात
I've tried to give him prayer and he still hasn't accepted what I've asked him to do.
नह जानत मेरो होए कात
According to his limited ability of thinking, he's thinking, doesn't this Guru Arjan Dev Ji realize that he's going to end up dying?
तपत बार की लगी ना को आओ
That the heat, he didn't even feel the heat from the water.
बारू तपत लगाए बसवाओ
Now he's thought in his mind, okay, if the hot water, look, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, you are all wise. If we heat up two things, water and an iron rod, the iron rod will retain far more heat than water. Water hits 100 degrees and begins to boil. Maybe it'll go slightly over 100 degrees. But iron can retain heat up to 900, 1000, 1100 degrees, right? So now he's thinking, if the water, if he hasn't flinched, if Satguru Arjan Dev Ji can take the heat of the water, let me step my game up a little. Let me get some sand. We all know that when glass is heated, it retains far more heat than water does. So hone sochda baru tapt lagaye so, let me heat up some sand and pour it over Guruji.
हिमचितवत ही खाए आहारा
And look when he's thinking this while he's having his breakfast.
आए पात की बढ़ हत्यारा
Then he pulls out another master weapon that he has up his sleeve.
और बिखै से खन को हेरा
Wherever he's sitting and eating, he sees the deori where the 5 Sikhs are locked up. Where jithe 5 Guru de sevadar Sikh pyare, they are locked up.
आंडो हुए कहो तिस बेरा
He rushes outside and he says to his guards, quick, get up and go over there.
हिम सिख रंक कहत किया गा काली
He's referring to Bhai Pranaji. He says, you know, these rank, these tramps, what he's saying. He's saying these tramp Sikhs. He goes, these are the ones that were talking yesterday.
रहो ताड़ना इन है विशाली
He'll mention what they're talking about in a minute. Then he says, get the staffs, get the sticks, and start beating them again.
पावत मुहे अचरज देबा
They were saying words yesterday to make me feel scared. Yeah. These Sikhs were saying that they could finish me off, that they could uproot me, they could finish the Mughal Raj off.
तबे कारण करत परेबा
And these are his words. He said they were saying this, so I would get scared and I would release them. That they were saying this to con me.
मुश्किल मुझे ते हो न खलासी
He's saying what they don't realize is going to be impossible for them to leave this place.
नहीं जेन है तो दे फांसी
And if their guru doesn't accept to the rista of my daughter to their son, then I will put a noose around his neck and I will hang him.
जैसन ते सुन गरबायो
It's because of this. It's because of Sikhs like this. What he's basically trying to say, Guru Ki Sangat Ji. ਹੁਣ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਜੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਹਿ ਦਵਾਂ ਨਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਇਹ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਲਾਇਆ ਇਹ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੂੰ ਹੱਥ ਲਾਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਗੱਡੀ ਮਾਰੂੰਗਾ ਸਿਰ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿ ਤਾਂ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਗੱਡੀ ਮੇਰੇ ਤੋਂ ਚੱਕ ਹੋ ਜੂਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਹਿ ਦੂੰ ਐਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਗੁੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਕਹਿ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਥਿੰਕਿੰਗ that we these six ਗੁੱਸੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਹਿਤਾ to make me get scared so I release them. I'm not going to do this. Because of these kind of Sikhs and doing this kind of gappa, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, he's saying that this is why their Guru has become so egotistical.
नहीं मोहे कहो मन महलायो
Don't they even realize that who I am? I'm the minister of Jahangir.
हिम कह सोटे कुछ मरवायो
Then he gives the order again to start beating the 5 6 in the
कहे
Deori.
मोन गुर ते डर पाए
The 6 Guru Ki Sangat Ji kot khali, dangan khaliyan, but they did not speak. Remember when Bhai Parana Ji came to get Agya, we Maharaj Agya, though we want to do this. Maharaj ne ਉਹਨੂੰ ਠੰਡਾ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੋੜ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ.
नहीं शकत किन कीन दिखावन
They didn't show any Shakti at all. बस कुट खाती. Why? Guru da hukum hai.
बैठ रहे कर मन मुर जावन
There's so much they can do, पर hukum nahi. Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ बैठो, watch my play. They're sitting there, man marjaya. They're like, got their heads down and they've taken the beating that these gods are giving.
गमनो सतगुर के पास
Then he comes over to where Satguruji is.
कह को बाक उपाव है त्रास
He starts talking harsh words again to scare Maharaj.
ऊकर कहबे के फल जोई
He keeps on coming back to the same thing, Guru Ki Sangat Ji. He said, have you seen? Have you seen what you got in return for calling me a dog?
लहयो के नहीं बताव हो सोई
Have you realized what you got for calling me a dog? Have you realized that what you said has brought you this pain?
अब लो कहाँ सास ना बनी
Have you seen what punishment this has brought for you?
देखो आज हो हे जमकनी
And then he says, first he says, have you seen what punishment this has brought to you? Then he says, you've got no idea what I've got in line for you today.
होत नहीं मैं मिथ्यावादी
Do not think for 1 second, hey Guru Arjan Dev Ji, that my words are useless. My words are just words. What I've said so far, I have done. What I have told you, I am also going to do.
दो आत्मी के देन अब छादी
You can do one of two things. Either you can suffer it or you can take my daughter's hand in marriage to your son.
जिस तन को ठानत हंकार
You become proudful. You become proud of what? Of the tan, the wealth you've got and your status.
सो सब जपत करो घर बार
And this tan and this status that's given you this ego, once I've killed you, I'm gonna go and take that all for myself.
प्रथम करो तेरे तन घात
First I will kill you.
पुन कहलाए ले होत उबरतात
Then I will go with my soldiers to Harmandir Sahib and I will arrest your son.
नाता मन है करो खलासी
Take my daughter's hand in marriage to your son. This will all end.
नाहे ते हो तो काल घर फासी
Or I'm going to definitely put a noose around your neck and kill you.
तब प्राप्त होए मन चित शांति
And then I will be at ease. I will be at peace.
विधवा लखो सुता पश छाती
And once I've done all this, then what I will do, I'll accept that my daughter, she's become widowed.
हिम कह पाट बिखैते बारू
Guru Ki Sangat Ji, as he's saying this, Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj doesn't even look at him, let alone talk to him. Maharaj Ade Adol Avastha ch baithe, quietly. When he gets no response, then he gives the order. He says to his guards, go and get some sand.
विवाह तहे करहे निहारू
When the sand comes, he says to Satguru Arjan Dev Ji, take a good look at this sand.
प्राप्त करण की आयस गई
Then he gives the order. So Guru Ki Sangat Ji, he has this big plate. On the plate, metal plate, jiddan you get these really large taviyan for rotiyan in Gurdwara. He has this big plate, and on that plate he has a sand foot, and then he gives the order to the guards to set a fire underneath it.
और समुदा ऊपर तिस पे
And he puts more and more firewood on top of it.
दे दे आज तपत करवायो
Anch again and again with these big karshe. The people, so where he ordered the sand from, the same people who delivered it, he forced them to then stand with the karshe and keep on turning the sand until it starts getting hotter.
अग्न समान तेज अग्न समान तेज प्रविशायो
So once the sand heats up and starts glowing, Guru Ki Sangat, you've probably seen these programs on TV when they heat up glass and it begins to glow. Just like that, this sand has started to glow.
एक जे सट की रुत आत्म काम
Bhai Sahib Ji says, look, on the one hand, it's Jet, the mean. Now, last week I've been working on the scaffolding and it's been baking. It's only 29 degrees, 28 degrees. And it's very hard to even take that heat. In the land of Lahore, where this is, who knows, it probably hit 35, 36, 37. Only those people that are living there and felt that heat will know what the heat is like. So Bhai Sahib is saying, number one, the heat is unbearable. And secondly, he's got these two poor guys standing right next to the fire. Now, what we want to understand here is Chandu's reputation must be well known that if you don't do what he says, you are going to receive it, and so is your family. So these two guys, not only are they suffering the heat of the season, of especially the month of June, but they are also by the fire. Bhai Sahib says everything in the immediate vicinity to where this sand is being heating is so hot. Lova chala hai. Guru ki sangat ji, when you got a fire burning, have you seen when the flame sometimes comes up, the flame breaks away, but there's still glowing bits going up into the air? Ida ho rahi halat, right where these two are being forced to turn the sand again and again. That is so hot that you can't even stand near this, not even stand 10, 15 meters near it, but yet he's got these two turning the sand over again and again. Since the day Satguruji Maharaj has been on the land of Chandu. Guru Sangat, once you've heard what you've heard in the last couple of minutes, it gives you an idea. Look how hot it is. Look at the conditions. And Satguruji has not even had a sip of water, even though Chandu's daughter-in-law bought water just the night before. This is the drirta of Satguruji. Guru Ki Sangat ji, this is the drirta that then Satguruji passes over to their Gursikhs. In the time of 1984, many Gursikhs were picked up and put into into police cells across Punjab. Sad Sangati, they gave their lives, but they did not even take a single drop of water from the dushts, the sarkar that had attacked Darbar Sahib. That was their prem for their Guru. Where did this prem come from? It comes from the doing of Tansat Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. Once the sand begins to glow, this fool opens his mouth. You know what he says to Guru Arjan Dev Ji? This just goes to show the level of fool he is. He goes to Guru Arjan Dev Ji, look how glowing that sand is. Just know that glowing sand to be the doors to hell opening up for you, Guru Arjan Dev Ji. What this fool doesn't realize, Maharaj ek drishti karde sangat te Maharaj cuts their narkan de darwaje. How can he think that Guru Maharaj is going to go to Nark? It just goes to show how drunk he is, how blind he is, how intoxicated he is on the little power that he has in this world, which he thinks to be so much. Then he gives the order, bring Satguruji out to where the sand is glowing. And he says to the and he says to the guards, if he doesn't come outside, give him something to fear, like stop poking him or something. Satguruji Maharaj Nirpao. Sur mein Satguruji Maharaj. Soon as he's given the order to the guards, Maharaj chonk de vichon ekdami ut gaye, and they come out inside themselves. Why would Maharaj even flinch for a second? Stay there. He's asked the guards, Maharaj Sur mein Jode, Maharaj gets up and goes outside themselves. Maharaj Bhai Sahib Ji says is the one who gives the patience to the Tarti, to this earth. Otherwise, this earth is such, Guru Ki Sangati, sometimes we just think of the earth to be a piece of rock. It's a being, it's alive, just like we are alive. Just like our bodies are different. This being, this Mata, this earth that we call Mother, she's so wise, so pavitr, pure. She doesn't like sin, we are her children. When we do sin, it dol jandi, Guru Ki Sangati. Just like if we have a good family, a very good family, koi mada na kuch karde hon, Guru de Sikh hon, and then one of our grandsons or nephews or nieces comes to the house drunk, stinking of smoke. Ekdam ta apnu chatka lagda, ye bhi ek hi ho gaya, why is one of our gone wrong? So just like that, Guru Ki Sangat Ji, when the Tarti sees people doing wrong, it dol jandi. Bhai Sahib Ji says the Guru who gives the Tarti the quality of being patient and to bear and observe. How can the Satguru Ji ever get down Dolan Guru Ki Sangat Ji? You know, you all heard of Ramchandra Ji and Ravan. When Ravan's end time came, don't rely on my words. Dhan Satguru Granth Sahib Ji bear witness to him having 100,000 sons and 125,000 grandsons. All of them were killed. Sare mare gaye when Lanka got attacked. एक कल्ले दा कल्ला रह गया गुरु की संगत जी. His वड्डी Madodri queen, his number one queen, she fell at his feet and she goes, "Hey Swami, you've lost everything. You've lost all your Jodhe, your sons, your grandsons. ते तो कुछ नहीं रह गया. एक तू रह गया हूं. Go and fall at the feet of Sri Ramchandra. He will forgive you even now, despite what you've done by taking his wife." He kicked her and he said some horrible words to her. Then he got ready to go and do battle. Actually, when he kicked her, he called her a Randi. Randi means widow. And she goes, "I'm not a widow. My Swami is still alive." He said, "No." He goes, "You're truly a widow." He said, "You're truly a widow. Why?" He said, "A woman whose husband dies, whether it's from natural causes, war, whatever, she has got no choice in becoming a Randi. She's become widow because through no choice or fault of her own. But you have killed me while I'm alive by asking me to fall at the feet of Ramchandra. You truly are a widow." He says this to her, he puts his shastra on and he goes out to fight Guru Ki Sangat Ji. Jodo hai Ravan bahar janda na sath sangat Sri Ramchandra Ji da muqabla karan, samna karan. He goes outside, he sees horses dead, elephants dead, Puttar dead, Potre dead, generals dead, nothing but death. Darya nahi Guru Ki Sangat Ji. He sees animals feasting on his sons and his grandsons. You know what he done? This is the mark of a Jodha. This is the mark of a Surma. Ran vekh sure chit ulas. He sees the Ran Bhumi, the battlefield, cha chad gaya ladai karnu. What he says, he calls out to the bears, the wolves, the dogs, the crows, whoever was eating on the flesh of his own blood. He calls out to them and he says, "Hey Paiyo, meri baat suno." He said, "Listen to me, my brothers. I am going to do jang, I am going to do battle with Ramchandra. If I should win, I'll bring you plenty more meat to eat. You'll have his army, main thanu aap bhi khwawanga. Je meri jit hogi. If I don't win, fir meri baat suno, my brothers. Mera maas khayo. Eat my body. I don't say don't eat my body. Once I've abandoned the body, do what you want. But one condition. When you've got my flesh in your mouth," he says, "birds, do not fly towards my castle. Fly towards Ramchandra. To the bears and the wolves," he said, "if you got my flesh in your mouth, do not go towards where my castle is. Go towards Ramchandra. If in life मैं दौड़िया नहीं from Ramchandra, don't you do my बेइज्जती, मैनू मरेगा मेरा मास ना Ramchandra तो पिठ करा के उधर ਨੂੰ ਜਾਇਓ. Make sure you travel in his direction." ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੂਰਬੀਰਤਾ, ਇਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਜੋਧਪੁਣਾ ਇਹ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲਦਾ? Now, some of you probably thinking ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ? ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਨਿਰਗੁਣ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਉਹ ਸਦਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ. ਉਹਦੀ ਆਰਾਧਨਾ ਰਾਵਣ ਨੇ ਕੀਤੀ. ਆ ਜੋ ਸੂਰਮ ਗਤੀ ਆ, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਵੀ ਸੂਰਮੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਕਮਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਆਦੀ ਸੂਰਮ ਗਤੀ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੈ. So Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, soon as he hears that Chandu is telling the gods to take them out, Maharaj ਚੌਂਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਇੱਕਦਮ ਹੀ ਉੱਠੇ ਪੁੰਜੇ ਹੱਥ ਲਾਉਣ ਤੋਂ ਨਾਲੋਂ ਵੀ ਉੱਠ ਕੇ ਆਪ ਹੀ ਤੁਰ ਪਏ ਹਨ.
ਹਰਿ ਕੋ ਸ਼ੋਕ ਕੋ ਲੇਸ਼ ਨਾ ਹਿਰਦੇ
In the heart, they've got no sorrow, no depression, no sadness, nothing. Neither are they happy that ik rasa.
ਤਨ ਹੰਤਾ ਉਤਪਤ ਨਹਿ ਕਦੇ
They've Guru Ki Sangat, you know that tan. If we find out, why Guru Satnam? My wife, when she knows she's going to have blood withdrawn, she starts getting palpitations because she knows there's a needle involved. Some of us probably sitting here when we know we tika lagna to pehlo saab de vade leਣ ਲੱਗ ਪੈਂਦੇ ਆ. Satguru ji's got no parwah that the body is going to go. Parwah de naal hai hi nahi, dukh de naal koi sambandh hi nahi. If we go to the sun, we will never find darkness in the sun. If you get a rock of granite that's been in the water for even 2,000-3,000 years, when you crack it, you find it as dry as anything inside, no moisture. Just that you do not find any water in granite or any darkness in the sun, you do not find any sorrow or any dukh in the Swarup of Tan Satguru.
ਜਸ ਅਵਸਥਾ ਹੋਏ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨੀ
The Jas Avastha, the Avastha of Brahm Gyani Maharaj said it, Sri Sukhmani Sahib. Only Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj truly is the master of the Avastha and the giver of the Avastha true too.
ਜਗ ਮਹਿ ਜਨ ਜਨਾਇ ਵਿਦਮਾਨੀ
They have caused us to know the Avastha of Brahm Gyani in this jug, not only through their Bani but through their Karni too.
ਭੂਖ ਨ ਪਾਸਨਾ ਮੁਖ ਮਰ ਜਾਇਆ
There's no thirst, no hunger, not even a tiny bit of sadness being reflected on the divine mukh of Tan Satguru Arjan Dev Ji.
ਮਨ ਕੀ ਬਿਤ ਇੱਕ ਰਸ ਸੁਖ ਪਾਇਆ
Just in that same Adol Avastha, where whoever they look at, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਦੁੱਖ ਕੱਟ ਕੇ ਤੇ ਸੁੱਖਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਭਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਨ.
ਕਹਿਸ ਕਠੋਰ ਚੰਦ ਕੁਲ ਕਾਤੀ
Then Kaise Kator, Chandu, the person, Kulkati, the one who is going to destroy his own bloodline, then he speaks harsh words.
ਕੀ ਨਸ ਛਾਤੀ ਮੁਝ ਤਾਤੀ
He points at the hot sand and he says, just as that sand is glowing, my hirda has been glowing at your rejection and the badnami and the besti you caused for me amongst my people.
ਤਿਮ ਅਬ ਤਪਤਾਵ ਹੋ ਪਾਤੀ
Now you get ready to have your chest set on fire, meaning the hot sand will be poured over Guruji.
ਇਸ ਤੇ ਪਰੇ ਨਾ ਆਪਰ ਰਾਤੀ
Then he says, he makes it clear. He says, I have no greater enemy than you, Guru.
ਤਰੀ ਮੋਨ ਅਬ ਆਏ ਨ ਬਾਨੀ
Dekho Guru Ki Sangat Ji. Satguru Ji has only spoken to him 2 or 3 times. Once was to tell him, Jo tu karunga tere more aayega. The first time was always to wind him up chronically with tu sade sahibzade naal adi kudi da rishta karna kate chahna hai. So Maharaj is to baad na bole nahi. Maharaj has remained quiet, only spoken to Bhai Parana, and in his absence spoken to his daughter-in-law, bacha ji to pala chahni hai, get ready to bind anybody. Other than that, Maharaj moan, chup rahe adi adol avastha. This fool sees that Maharaj is not speaking, and he says to Maharaj, look, you got scared, that's why tenu koi bani nahi audi, meaning that you can't talk.
ਬੈਠਤ ਬੋਲਤ ਬਨ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਗਿਆਨੀ
But earlier on, he was being a Vadda Brahma Gyani and giving us Gyan, like, for example, whatever you do will become before you as well.
ਕਰ ਕੋ ਕਲ ਕਤ ਕੀਓ
Same words again. He's saying, you was calling me a dog, you slandered me by calling me a dog, and now this is the reward.
ਅਬ ਤਾਪ ਹੋ ਜਿਮ ਤਾਪ ਮਮ ਹੀਓ
Now you are going to burn just the way I burned inside internally with your rejection.
ਸਕਤਾ ਤਪਤ ਅਰੂ ਡੁਨ ਲਾਗੇ
So Guru Ki Sangat Ji Maharaj has made their way over to the sand. He has given the order for Satguru Ji to stand on the sand. Satguru Ji walked over, stood on the sand without a single flinch. He then gives the order to start pouring that glowing sand over Satguru Ji's Sarupa.
ਬੋਲੇ ਸੁਨੀ ਹੈ ਮੁੱਢ ਕੋ ਭਾਗੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਪਏ ਬੋਲੇ ਸੁਣੀਏ ਮੂਡ ਕੋ ਭਾਗੇ. Then Satguru Ji Maharaj says to him, listen to me, you unfortunate fool.
ਆਪਨੋ ਭਾਖੋ ਨਹੀਨ ਵਿਚਾਰਤ
He kept on saying to Guruji, Maharaj, Guru, you called me a dog. Look at me, I'm doing what a dog does, and this is a reward for you calling me a dog. Maharaj says, look, tu koi vicharda bhi hai. Have you even thought for once what you are saying?
ਕੂਕਰ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਰਾੜ ਝੱਖ ਮਾਰਤ
You're saying that, you've been slandered by being called a dog? How is that slander? Is your behavior not like a dog? Like a mad dog? You know those crazy dogs that go running out the garden and bite anyone and everyone? Is your behavior not like that? Are you not just barking wildly and just biting, meaning, look at the suffering is extended to Guruji. That's way worse than a bite. So he's worse than a mad dog.
सकल बंस की जरा खा रहे
Maharaj tells him, hey, देखो गुरु की संगत जी, गुरु का जो बचन है ना, once it comes out of Guruji's Kamal Mukh, there is no Shakti on the planet that can stop it, can delay it, can get rid of it, unless Guruji changes it themselves. Satguru Ji Maharaj ਦੇ ਮੁਖੋਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਸਕਲ ਬੰਸ ਕੀ ਜਰਾ ਉਖਾੜ ਹੈ. Hey Chandu, your actions have just totally uprooted your entire bloodline.
अपने पर अपदा मोह डार है
You are going to bring you have brought so much suffering upon yourself.
दोजक दीरग दुखद सहेरा
You have opened the gates to hell for yourself. ਤੂੰ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ that this hot sun is the gates of hell for us. ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਨਾਲ ਸੁਣਿਓ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ. The average lifespan of a star is about 8 to 10 billion years. We read every single day, but do we pay attention? Namo Surj Surje in Sri Jap Sahib. Dhan Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj, the 10th form manifestation of Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, can speak of what they are, but they do it in the third person. They talk to Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji. They say, hey Akal Purkh Vaheguru Ji, minu teri namaskar hai. Kenu namaskar hai? Who is your namaskar to? Hey Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. Namo Surj Surje, the sun that is within the sun. The star that is within the star, meaning the life force of the star. If the life force in the star, that is Akal Purkh Vaheguru, is the fifth manifestation. If that life force can be amongst 15 million degrees for 9 billion years and keep it alive, what is hot sun going to do to Guru Sahib Ji? How can that be the dozak ke darwaze, the gates of hell for Guruji? But they sure as hell are the gates of hell for Chandu.
मारत मोर तुरन फल हेरा
You're the father for what you're doing. You will die a painful death.
हम तो ताजन है शरीर
Guru ki sangat ji, when I said we ਕੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਨ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ, before ਕੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਨਣ ਤੋਂ they put a ring in his nose like you do in a pig. And in that, this is in the darbar of Jahangir. He's boasting, I'm the first minister, yeah. Darbar ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਨੱਕ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਧ ਸਿੰਘ ਦੀ ਨਕੇਲ ਪਾਈ ਸੀ ਸਿੱਖਾਂ ਨੇ. Then they dragged him out. Then they gave the hukum in Delhi, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੀ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਸਿਰ 'ਚ ਮਾਰੋ ਛਿੱਤਰ 100. They beat him around his head. So many Sikhs beat him so many times. Guru ki sangat ji, the skin on the top of the skull had come off. Then after that they tied him with the dogs. They kept him tied with the dogs until they came back from Delhi to Lahore. If you want to go from Delhi to Lahore in today's day, I don't know, maybe take you a day and a half a day. In those days, Maharaj was stopping on the way, meeting the Sikh Sangha. It took months. ਇਹਨੂੰ ਕਈ ਮਹੀਨੇ ਜਿਉਂਦਾ ਰੱਖਿਆ, but in the worst state possible. ਉਹੀ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਪੜ੍ਹਦੇ ਹੋ ਫੇਰ.
हम तो ताजन है शरीर
Maharaj says, you will die a horrible death. We are going to abandon this body anyway.
समा आन पहुँचो अर तीर
The summer for us to abandon this body is getting closer and closer. Hey Chandu.
हम बोलत अरुडन करे
Aruddan.
अरुडन करे रेत हुतासन सम
So when Maharaj spoke this, then Chandu gave the order.
सिख
नहीं रेत
रेत हुतासन सम पर खरे
He gives the order to stop pouring the hot sand over Satguru Ji.
सिकल मगाहो पिराणा दोन
Guru ki sangat ji, fair we, the 5 6 hai to Guru de Sikh. They are premis, they are प्यारे of ਧੰਨ सतगुरु अर्जन देव जी महाराज. Even though महाराज ਦਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈ ਵੀ ਬੈਠ ਕੇ ਦੇਖੋ ਸਾਡੀ ਖੇਲ, they are not able to contain themselves. ਗੁਰੂ ਕੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਜੀ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਆਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੋਚੋ. Red hot sand was being poured over the divine swoop of Satguru Ji. What it's doing is causing dark, red, almost black blisters to appear over Satguru Ji's body. And as this is happening, the Sikhs are no longer able to contain themselves. And in a sense, they don't reject Guru Ji's hukam. They just get up and run towards Guru Ji again. They run towards Guru Ji one more time. They are not this time asking Maharaj Agya do, we want to show some power. They're saying, Chandu, pour that hot sand over our bodies instead. We will happily stand over Guru Ji. Put the sand over us instead. In karan nik seje pranan. If in this way we give up our lives, what greater wealth can we ask for? To give our lives in the seva of our Guru, what bigger prize can we ever ask for in this life? We don't want to see this dukh being extended to our Guru. The best thing for us to do in this situation is abandon our bodies. Guru ki sangat ji, look, jede sikhya de nirmal, they without any deceit, without any male in their hearts. They're still trying to think, if we say this, shayad Chandu sun lavega. Chandu the fool. Just like water never enters stone, these words don't enter his ears. He gives the shara to the gods instead. He gives the order. We get the lashkata, the small sutiya, and start beating them. And these jalads, these executioners, these gods, these senseless beings, they get the same danga and they start beating these Sikhs around their hands and their feet. Some of them have start taking the beats and then started marching back slowly. Maharaj again spoke. Maharaj says, hey Sikho, why have you come forward? Why are you getting angered in your hearts? Do you not know that this is your Guru's care, that this is your Guru's... Guru ki sangat ji, we call it cared. It's very painful to talk about this and even imagine it. But Jo Maharaj karde, there is no fault in it whatsoever. Maharaj says, sit down and just watch it. Don't take beats. Whatever's happening is happening and according to our will. Guru ki pyari Saad Sangat ji. Here, Maharaj di kirpa de naal bisram dinne hain. Until next week, jidda aap ji prem de naal aaye hain and coming and listening to the prasang of Guru Arjan Dev ji Shaheedi. Next week, Maharaj kirpa karan, if we have enough time, I beg your pardon, we will hear why Satguru Ji has done why they have done. Next week, we will hear how Chandu then brings the Tatti Tavi out. Then for us, Maharaj to sit on there as his fourth and final measure of punishment. Othe, when some unseen ruha like Miya Mir Ji, Pir Miya Mir Ji, Gorakhnath Ji, when these unseen beings, they come to see Guru Arjan Dev Ji, then Maharaj reveals why they are doing what they are doing in a great depth. So Saad Sangat Ji, ਇੱਥੇ ਬਿਸਰਾਮ ਹੈ. ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਕੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਚਰਨਾਂ ਕਮਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਕੇ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰਸੰਗ ਸਰਵਣ ਕਰਦੇ ਆਏ हैं ਪਿਛਲੇ ਕਈਆਂ ਹਫ਼ਤਿਆਂ ਤੋਂ. Come again next week, ਲਾਹਾ ਲੈਣਾ, ਕਥਾ ਵਿਚਾਰਾਂ ਕਰਦਿਆਂ ਅਨੇਕ ਹੀ ਭੁੱਲਾਂ ਚੁੱਕਾਂ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਆਪ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਸਮਝ ਕੇ ਮਾਫ ਕਰਨਾ। ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਮਾਈ ਭਾਈ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦਾ ਧਿਆਨ ਧਰਦੇ ਹੋਏ ਸਤਿਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਜੋ ਸਤਿਗੁਰਾਂ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਸਰੂਪ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰੇਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਕਰੀਏ। ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ, ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ